Hi class, we are on step 6 in Cheese Chase and we just got done going over Paint Editor and how to create a sprite. So if you look at step 6, we are going to create what looks like a piece of cheese, and that's going to be its own sprite. So if you haven't already, where it says new sprite down here, click on the little paintbrush arrow and you'll have a screen that looks something like this. You'll have a gray outside with a white and gray, almost looks like tiny little pixels or blocks, and you should be all set. Also make sure that it is in what's called bitmap mode, okay? And we are all set for that as well. So to get started, we're going to draw the cheese. I think it's easiest if you use the line tool and you make straight lines with that. You don't have to worry about keeping your finger steady while you're using the trackpad. It makes the lines for you. Okay. The first step that I would do is start where the points of the cheese are and go up. You're going to make a triangle on the top, so finish off the triangle. Now make a little line on the inside going up. Stop halfway and then make a little line going towards the center and stop about halfway there as well. We will connect these lines later. And if you make them too long, not a big deal. Use your eraser, erase a little bit, and you'll be able to keep going. Okay, so that's the top of my cheese. I'm going to make the bottom of my cheese now, like a side view of it. Now, using this paintbrush picture, this is a freehand tool, so you will have to maneuver making a curve, and where these openings are, you're going to go into the cheese and make like a half moon shape. So this one up here at the top will look like a C, so go ahead and just make a C and connect, and really make sure that they are connected to those lines. If you have to go over them a couple of times, not a big deal, we can erase later. And then go down to the one at the bottom and make it backwards, see. Okay, so I'm going to take my eraser and just kind of brush up on these areas, making sure that they're not too messy. But I also, like I said, want to make sure that the lines are connected. Good. Okay, so my cheese is right there, as you can see. Now, I'm going to use the circle tool, and I'm going to make a couple of holes in the cheese, and I will do that through step 8. You'll see that there's two blocks that you can choose from at the bottom here. We want to use the one that has the open circle. That way you can see through the hole. It looks realistic. So I'm just going to add a small circle on the top, and hold your finger down on the key on the trackpad and then drag, and then I'm going to make another one at the bottom corner down here, just like that. Okay, now once we've had our circles and our details to our cheese, we can go ahead and fill in the color. Obviously cheese is yellow, so you want to make sure that you're clicking in the separate areas. We have the top of the cheese and the side of the cheese, and then you can fill in the holes as well. If for some reason you would have color go all the way out and it fills up your whole small screen here, that means you need to go back and fill in or make sure that your lines are connected and there's no way for the color to escape. You have to keep everything in. So click on your paint can and then click on yellow and click on each section. You should have 4 sections for 2 of the holes in the top and the side, and you'll see that you have some cheese then on the side over here. Last, we just need to center the cheese, and by centering it, you want to click on Set Costume Center. This just makes it so that it is in the middle of your game and that it's ready to be added and it works well with the other sprites that you have listed there. Okay, so I have my tool. I want to click in the middle of the cheese, so it will be a little off center at first, but then it will bring it back to center. And just kind of line it up, and it should be about half on the top, half on the bottom. And it should be centering then on your game over there. Once you think you have it about center, I would File, Save Now, just so we have that section saved. And we are going to make something called a variable and make a scoreboard so that during our game we can have a score running around. Okay, so step 11, to keep score we need to create a variable called score. Choose the data, so we're going to go back in the scripts, choose the data block, and click on make a variable. And we're going to type the word score. We're going to select it for all sprites. And that will, once we hit OK, it should come up at the corner of our stage here. Okay. Now, make sure that your cheese is still being highlighted here. And we are going to add a script to the cheese so that's in a random location. And when the mouse touches it, there will be a pop noise. The player will score 10 points and the cheese will move to a new location. We'll run the script when we're done, make sure that we can catch the cheese. It should be pretty easy because we haven't added any enemies yet or any types of lines. Before I do that though, I am going to change the name of my sprite to cheese just so it's easier as I'm looking. And I'm going to go back and change the mouse to Mimi. Oops. Again, just so it's a lot easier as I'm adding these scripts and realizing which one I'm on, where I'm at. So go ahead on step 12, make your script so that you can catch the cheese. Again, I always set all of my blocks first and then I go back and click on anything that needs to be edited. Remember, use the colors to help you as it will make it a lot easier to find which block you're looking for. Let's see here. I need to add green operators. Okay. Now I'm missing one block, and that is my sound block for pop. Oh, and it's already actually in there, so I don't need to go and create it. So play sound pop and go right down at the bottom. I'm going to double check all of my digits here. I have 0, and just use your tab button to enter in the numbers that they want you to be using. And then this should say that touching the mouse, which is Mimi. Okay, we're going to run our script, and every time we touch the cheese, we should be able to start earning points. So remember, use your keypad, and it should be moving to a different location every time that you hit the cheese, and it is tallying up my points as well. We are going to go ahead and stop the video here for making the cheese. In the next video, we'll be making mini enemies and making it more interesting of a game and adding our actual maze to that as well.